once again from Ostrava, from the hotel here. I'm after the second round, the Ostravsky Konik chess tournament, Open A. And what a game that was! That was a game full of surprises, tactics, full of complicated plans, imbalanced material, and also the result at the end was a bit surprising. But you'll see. Also, I think that was a good example of why the time management is such an important part of the game. Today I played white against once again stronger player. I will not try to read the name of my opponent here, the difference was around 200 FIDE rating. I felt like I couldn't feel it that much. I had my own chances, and you'll see what was the result at the end. It had started with e4, c5, so Sicilian like yesterday once again. Knight f3, d6, same setup as yesterday. But now, instead of playing a6, my opponent has decided to play g6, which means that it was the dragon defense. And this is one of the most tactical line in the Sicilian opening. I think that I know that opening and this line pretty well. This is why I haven't spent that much time for the opening part. Firstly, I'm preparing the move bishop e3, because if I would play that right away, then there is always a knight that could jump into the g4. So f3, bishop e3, queen d2, bishop c4, just to prevent d5 movement here. Queen a5, long castle. And once again we have set up with opposite sides castles, which means that it's gonna be really dynamic game with plenty of the dynamics in it. Bishop d7, still theory. King b1, just a securing move, just to make sure that my king is out of the c line. And at the same time, it's another defender for whole fields, squares a2 and a1. Rook f2 c8, bishop b3, just getting out of the pin from the rook here, because that was undefended piece. And if something like that would happen, I would be forced to take that with the queen. Otherwise, I could lose the piece here. So I moved my piece back. Knight e5 with a plan of exchanging the knight for the bishop. h4. My opponent is trying to attack me on the queen side. I'm trying to attack him on the king side. Very typical things for the dragon side line so far. Knight c4, take, h5. And at first glance, it seems like I'm the one that will be first while attacking. This is the sacrifice of the pawn, and this is also very typical plan for the dragon, because we're sacrificing the pawn, but for the price of just simply opening the line. And in many lines, there is a high chance that that line could be deadly for black here. But at the same time, if I will allow to have plenty of the exchanges on the board, I can simply have a pawn down. And in case of endgame, I need to be careful with that. Knight to b3, trying to kick the queen back to the further ranks. And I've been surprised with the queen d8 move. And here I thought that I'm winning this because I thought that after e5 my opponent is completely lost, because he's not allowed to move the the bishop from d7 because the queen is hanging. And if he would like to, yeah, to get rid of that queen with, I know, for instance, playing this, then it's once again two pieces to both of the bishops are hanging. As the alternative, he could try something like that. But yeah, you can ask yourself how bad that position looks. Probably, yeah, he's a piece down. But at the same time, I feel like, yeah, all the pieces on his side are not that well placed. And yeah, also I have both open lines on G and H. And yeah, that could be problematic for his king. But yeah, instead of that, at the game there was another line here. It was queen to, but yeah, I haven't played that because of the other move that was possible here, and that move was knight to g4. And this is, yeah, once again, the thing that sometimes happens in the dragon line. And yeah, I have tried to calculate that, but I wasn't sure about the evaluation of that position, to be honest. Because yeah, once again, it seems like I have two pieces for the rook, but yeah, black has two pawns for that exchange, and it's really hard to evaluate if this is winning or not. I simply wasn't sure if this is good for me, so preferred to, yeah, to keep the dynamics in the position, keep more pieces on the board, just to give myself a bit more opportunities. So yeah, queen h2. Yeah, my opponent played rook c3. That was probably the only chance that my opponent had, and because otherwise, yeah, I would get that knight to d5, and he's challenged with some problems. Alternative to queen h2 for me was playing knight to d5 first, and yeah, I was considering that line, but I thought that, yeah, that would be good for me. But I thought but that in the other line I'm winning also. So it wasn't that, yeah, I didn't see that it's yeah, an advantage for me. It's rather that, yeah, I thought that in the other line I'm also winning. So that was probably underestimated by me, this move, knight to d5. Of course, the goal of this move is to get rid of this knight from f6, to be able to give the take a pawn from from h7. But yeah, in the game, queen h2, exchange sacrifice, queen c7. And here I had a couple of possibilities, or some possibilities. Once again, I could play e5. That was the move that I have spent 30 minutes on, because yeah, I had to calculate very heavily usage of the pin on the queen, because it seems like, yeah, it's hard to get that pawn back, or keep that pawn by my opponent. But yeah, I almost missed the move a knight to d5, and yeah, I can get the pawn from h7, of course, but it's hard to see anything more other than just getting the piece from here, because yeah, it seems like I don't have a good position after that. Simply, this bishop is hard to get from the strong diagonal. I need to do something with my bishop, and yeah, the pawn on c5 is very weak, and it would be hard to keep that position. This is why I have not played the e5, but of course, yeah, even while discovering the knight to d5, I have lost almost 30 minutes on this only move. And yeah, the couple of alternatives that I had at my mind was playing either c4 with the plan to get the bishop active on this diagonal to later move that bishop to b2. And yeah, my opponent would be blocked a bit because he would not have any chance to move the knight from f6 because h7 pawn is hanging. And yeah, all the time he would need to be prepared for all the lines that would include the taking on f6 and taking on f7. But instead, I have decided to play something very completely different. That was bishop d4 right way. And the goal for that was trying to force my opponent to play e5. He's, of course, able to take the pawn back on c3 here. But yeah, in my opinion, that pawn is not that important as blockade of the strong bishop on the g7. After such exchange, his bishop on g7 is completely out of play. So yeah, I was pretty convinced on getting into that line, if I would have a chance, of course. But it turned out that my opponent played something else. Bishop to e6. And yeah, here, once again, I was considering to play c4. But instead, I have decided to play something else. That was kind of the trap for my opponent because, yeah, I was trying to force my opponent to do something with this knight. And yeah, if he will move a knight to any square, of course, yeah, the h7 is still hanging. And if he's trying to defend that with the queen, as he did during the game, I'm just simply able to take the pawn on c7. And yeah, you can see that the queen is hanging, but yeah, thanks to the pin on the queen on his side, I could just yeah have a winning endgame. And after such exchange, I'm having an equal quantity of the pawns on both sides, but and also exchange up. And it seems like his pawn structure is not that good because it's hard to defend this one, and also yeah, this one could be also problematic here. But yeah, after queen c7, queen h7, my opponent played queen f8. And here, probably the best move that I could play was either moving back the queen to h4 or to h2. But I have overlooked the another move that was going to the endgame. And yeah, after let's say going to h2, my opponent probably would yeah, try to activate the queen a bit, play something like that. And after that position, I can just simply yeah, force the bishop exchange, and it's hard to yeah to have any counterplay here. He would either need to yeah got a weak king on e7. That could be really hard for him to play something like that, or simply got mated, yeah, because yeah, if he would play something like that, I hope that you can see that there is a possible mate here. But that was one of the options. I have overlooked something else. I thought that I'm winning after this. Yeah, but this is also due to some trouble, time control troubles that I had after spending so much time earlier in the game. I have calculated that yeah, after this regarding the material here, it's two rooks for the queen. So that's my advantage. But what is even more important for me, that yeah, I'm having my own mating chances. Yeah. So for instance, after queen c7 that went in the game, I thought that I can play simply rook h1. And yeah, after any kind of the moves here, like I know, for instance, if he would like to play knight d7, I could simply play rook to h8, and it's hard to do not get mated here. If he would play something like bishop knight to g8, I've seen the line like this, and yeah, it's impossible to get out of the mate on h8. But I have missed one strong move that was possible on the opponent's side, which is knight to uh, h7. And yeah, I of course could give it a check, but nothing than that. And yeah, after such movements, it's hard to see the follow-up. This pawn is vulnerable. It's hard to defend, and also yeah, my opponent is having some mating chances here. Instead of that, I have played king to b1. I think a bit stronger was the move knight to a4, a5, because yeah, of course I can invest that pawn, play something like that, and yeah, it seems like it's good enough for me because nothing is hanging. Uh, Probably, yeah, my rooks are not stacked. What is most important, if you would see in the moment. And yeah, that would be just a position to play for both of us, probably. Instead of that, I have played King B2, which was not that good because, yeah, as I said, my rook on A8 right now can have some troubles. I've played Rook H1 with a plan to get that rook to H8 later on, and yeah, my opponent simply blocked my rook. So I was forced to take the knight and get rid of the lock on my rook. Bishop e6, rook to h2, with an offer of repeating the moves, but of course my opponent didn't want to get that because right now it seems like it is the advantage for my opponent, despite of having two rooks for the queen. Right now, the deciding thing in the position is the fact that my king is weak. Those pawns here are not that strong. It's hard to defend all of them. And also, yeah, there are some mating opportunities for black. I played rook h2, queen c6, rook d8, a4, and yeah, right now I thought that I'm forced to play something like that because yeah, after this kind of the move, it's a serious drama for me, or at least this is what I thought because yeah, those pawns are lost. My king is still need to yeah watch his backs here, and yeah, I wasn't sure to play that. So instead of that, I have decided to sacrifice the piece, and I have played rook to d2. My opponent played yeah, took the knight. I've taken the pawn on d6, queen b5, and I took the pawn on b3. I have seen that position in my calculation, and I thought that yeah, I'm able to set up my pieces to get to wait and get that draw. But the crucial thing on my position would be to place the pawn on c4. And yeah, right now, when it wasn't my move, I've just discovered that it's impossible to get that piece, that pawn on c4, because yeah, let's say that I'm playing it right away. So yeah, he can just simply answer and take that with the bishop. If I would try to, let's say, play a4, the b3 pawn is hanging. And if I would try to, yeah, to defend first, play something like that, then simply he could try to chase my rook and, yeah, simply get the pawn from f3, and then probably all of those pawns are simply lost. So I decided, yeah, I had to play something because if I would just stand without doing nothing, I would lost anyway. So yeah, my decision was to play king c2 with the plan of playing c4 in the next move. But I have overlooked the opportunity for my opponent. Queen f1. The pawn is hanging, and yeah, it's impossible to try to defend that because yeah, after this and this, at least one of those pawns are lost. So instead of that, I have decided to sacrifice one of the pawns, uh, but for the price of having the chances with the a pawn. I thought that yeah, this is my last final chance to play for that for pushing that pawn, but it turned out that yeah, that wasn't that much risk for my opponent. He played king e4 with yeah trying to activate his king a bit. And yeah, I also thought that yeah, his plan is simply leave the space for the g pawn. But you will see in the moment what was also his hidden agenda here. Yeah, right here I could of course play something like that, but yeah, thought that yeah, he can simply, for instance, I know, play here, and it's hard to make a progress. And plan for my opponent would be simple, pushing the pawn on g line. Yeah, so instead I've tried to play c4 with calculation that yeah, after something like that, I would have my own chances here. And yeah, and after any move with c4, my opponent would try to get back the king to the f5, and yeah, it's gonna be race between my pawn on a line and his pawns on yeah, probably mostly g and e line. But it turned out that once again I've overlooked some moves because after a6 he can simply play king e3, and yeah, I'm completely lost here. Right now I just figure out that yeah, there is no chance for me. I spent like 15-20 minutes on this position, but simply couldn't find any line that stops me from losing that immediately. So I found the line that was most challenging for my opponent. But yeah, just let's check in theory. If I would go to the h2, then simply my opponent is giving me a mate in either a1 or c2. If I would try to play something like rook to d1, an answer from my opponent will be playing like this, and it's hard to get rid of the mate on c2. So yeah, the line that I decided to play was playing just simply for pushing the pawn. Of course, my opponent was wise and yeah, played bishop f5. I played king b1. I have lost the rook, and here it just made in few moves. But yeah, of course, like my tradition is, I just allow the opponent to give the mate because yeah, the whole art of the chess game is about giving a checkmate. So why shouldn't I give that chance to my opponent after pretty decent game by him? What are the conclusions here? Yeah, as you could see, could see that was a really dynamic and strange game. I had my own chances. Uh, yeah, probably till now it was a part of my preparation for the opening. Let's say till this very move. So I had to start thinking from here, and I think I have done pretty well so far. Maybe instead of playing queen to h2, I shouldn't allow my opponent to yeah to sack the exchange on the c3 and instead play knight d5. Other places where I could improve, maybe by playing c4, maybe that was a bit better. Trying to sack the pawn here. But after that, that was still a good position. I think after playing something like queen to h4 or to h2, I'm still better at that position, and that should be maybe not winning for me, but it should give me more chances. After getting to the end game, like it was in the game, I think it got harder for me, and also because of the trouble with the time control. Yeah, simply my opponent has overplayed me with his experience. So well done for him. I'm also more satisfied after this game than the one that I had yesterday, which is strange because yeah, yesterday I have lost I have drawn a game. Today I have lost, but still feel that the game and the moves that I have taken today were better than yesterday. But the results not always are showing the form or the shape of the game. So uh, just you need to get used to it. Anyway, that was a really fun game. Tomorrow I will probably once again play against stronger player than me, but not that strong because with half of the point out of two, probably I will play with someone around 2000 FIDE rating. But I will see. Probably the pairing is already available, so I will just spend a moment on yeah checking that. Yeah, if you are still watching the video and listening, please let me know by typing in the comment dragon. And yeah, see you next time probably. Thank you for watching and bye.